So the Celtics game just ended against the Heat, game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics took it 117 to 106. My immediate reaction from it was exactly what I said my last video. I knew Hayward was going to come into this and he was going to be a pivotal part offensively. He was going to be a playmaker. He was going to be a mid-range shooter. I even kind of called out Brad Stevens in the fact saying that they need to be putting people at the free throw line so they can have dives from the corners, and they did it, man. Brad Stevens switched up his game plan totally. The Celtics, they weren't stuck out on the perimeter dribbling. I mean, at the very end they were, which needs to change. To close out the game, they struggled. But the overall game plan of this offense took a turn tonight. And it started with Brad Stevens switching it up. It started with Hayward being in there. Tatum was catching the ball at the free throw line. Smart was catching the ball at the free throw line. They really did a great job switching it up. And what they did, they attacked. Jaylen Brown attacked. Tatum attacked. Smart attacked. This is exactly what they needed to do. They needed to come out and they needed to punch the Heat in the mouth, and that's exactly what they did. The third quarter was pivotal because the Celtics had, I think it was a 12-point lead at halftime or something along those lines, and they came out in the third quarter and they were kind of struggling a little bit and it was kind of iffy, but then they closed the third quarter so well, and that's exactly what they needed was to close the third quarter very well, and they did it. And then the fourth quarter came, and that's where they had their struggles, man. They kind of changed up their offense. They tried to ISO down the stretch, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I think the Celtics need to continue doing what they do on offense throughout the entire game in the fourth quarter to find success. I understand you're trying to run clock. I don't necessarily agree with it. I'd rather them continue what was finding them success instead of just ISOing with Kemba. But hey, man, they won the game nonetheless. Tatum had 25. Tatum played very well. Um, Hayward came off the bench. He only had 6 points. He did have 4 assists, but it's a different feel when Hayward's on the court. It's a different feel. You know you're getting a playmaker out of him. You know he's gonna give you good defense. You know he can hit the mid range. It's just a different feel, man. There's nothing more to say about Jaylen Brown. The guy is just a top of the line competitor, constantly driving on Bam Adebayo. Um, this Celtics team, it's really unfortunate that they lost the first 2 games because this Celtics team is a lot more talented than the Heat. I understand the Heat have Adebayo and Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic has been playing out of his mind. But let's be real here. The Celtics are immensely more talented than the Heat. The Heat have, guys like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson who are just they're young, and I know the Celtics are young, but the Celtics have been here before, man. This is Jaylen Brown's third Eastern Conference Finals. This is Tatum's second. This is just the Celtics have been here, It's just different for them. And they're more talented than the Heat. The Heat have been playing very good defense, and the Heat have been playing better than they are. The Celtics have been playing better than the Heat, but the Celtics haven't been able to close out the games. That's why they lost the first 2. The Celtics, realistically, if they knew how to fucking close a game, not gonna say they should be up 3-0 because they're probably like in a perfect world, yes. But Celtics, if they knew how to close games better, they wouldn't be in this position right now. Thank God that they had a big enough lead in the fourth quarter where they couldn't blow it. That scared me too. Um, but yeah, man, it really is unfortunate that the Celtics are still down 1-2 or 2-1. But this is a positive look for the Celtics because realistically, what you needed to see tonight was exactly what they did, and they delivered, man. To all those naysayers who are saying Brad Stevens' job needs to be taken, and all these, I just see so much stuff on like Instagram, Facebook, just all these people. I guess they're haters, but even Celtics fans, man, they're out here calling for Brad Stevens' job. I see people talking about how he can't motivate the team. You gotta understand, man. These guys are getting paid millions of dollars. These guys are playing for each other. They're playing for millions of people, man. They need to find motivation, man. It's not Brad Stevens' fault when they come out flat. And tonight, I don't know if it was. I doubt it was Brad Stevens. I guarantee this was a direct result of a new game plan from Brad. But all the motivation from this is coming out of Marcus Smart and Jalen Brown's fight. They Marcus Smart was being a leader. He was calling out his teammates for what was true, what needed to be said, and he did it, man. And you gotta be happy to have a guy like that on your team, man. Like almost like a Draymond Green. He's a defensive leader. He's not afraid to speak his mind, and 9 times out of 10, when he does speak his mind, it's a true statement. So you gotta listen to him, man. Other than that, man, like the Heat, man, everyone's praising Jimmy Butler. I don't know with Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Butler's a good player and all. He's a great defender. But realistically, man, he wasn't even on the court in the late in the fourth quarter in this game. I have no idea why. Jimmy Butler is constantly passing up shots. He only took 13 shots tonight. You know, I don't know, man. Like, if you're Jimmy Butler, you gotta think that you got to be the best player on this team, man. You got to be scoring, 20, 25 points to give your team a real shot. And I get it. In the other games, they didn't really need him. In this game, they needed Jimmy Butler, and he didn't really show up offensively. Um, I don't know how far a team can get with Jimmy Butler as the best player. Bam played insane, so you can make an argument Bam's the best player, whatever, whatever. In my opinion, Jimmy's the best player on the team, and he didn't show up as much as I'm sure their fans wanted him to. Um, but that just ties into my point. This Heat team is just not as talented as the Celtics. The Celtics are much more talented than the Heat. They just have to figure out how to close games. Once the Celtics figure out how to close games, people are going to see that the Celtics, throughout almost all 3 games, have been the better team. They just fuck up in the fourth. Realistically, that's what happens. Um, my game 4 prediction, it's insane that game 4 is not until Wednesday. That kind of threw me off. But, I mean, dude, Celtics need a nice break right now, dude. They've been going balls to the wall since Game 7 in Toronto, man. Hayward, I'm sure, is going to need the break. Kemba will appreciate it, man. They'll recuperate. Brad Stevens is going to get even more time to dive into that zone. I'm thinking Celtics win Game 4. And I'm thinking it's going to look similar, but I think they're going to have an even better approach to the zone. When the Heat go man, the Celtics destroy them. So the Heat are going to have to go man, and the Celtics are just going to destroy them, man. I'm looking to see if Jimmy Butler is going to take a step up, maybe get around 20, 25 points. I'm thinking he will. I don't think he can keep on depending on guys like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, man. And they're good, but this is the Eastern Conference Finals, dude. Your best player's got to be your best player. Um, yeah, that's about it, man. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna put up a video about the Patriots. I'll see you guys then.